Back in January, I attended my first ever IRL Pokemon event, Toronto Regionals. Now, I'm not sure whose decision it was to hold the only Canadian regional in the middle of January, but weather aside, I was so excited to spend the weekend among friends who were just as crazy about Pokemon as I am. Of course, the main events of the regionals are the VGC and TCG competitions, but I've never been that good at Pokemon battling, even against NPCs. And as far as the TCG goes, I just like looking at the pretty art. No, I had something else on my mind for this event. Shiny hunting. Looking for these super rare, different colored goobers has been my obsession for several years now, especially finding them at the game's full odds. I had a lot of different hunts set up and ready to go, so I was really hoping to find at least one shiny during the regional. But I was not prepared for just how lucky I would get this weekend.
Oh my god! No way!
Between the snow and the fact that the competitions wouldn't start until tomorrow, Friday was a slow day. So I took advantage of the short lines to check out some of the merch options. Okay, so my first stop was the championship store because I knew those lines were gonna get super long over the weekend. I picked up this Gardevoir shirt. Gardevoir is not like my favorite Pokemon of all time, but it was definitely my favorite of the designs that they had there. I also picked up this acrylic pin. Pins are kind of my weakness. I have a pretty big pin collection, and I wanted to get something to remember the championships by. I also went to check out the vendors, which had some really cool merch and some really adorable plushies, but they were a little too expensive for me. Instead, I bought my first ever Pokemon card since I was a kid.
Check it out, it's Maractus.
Maractus is one of my friend's favorite Pokemon, so I was really excited to find one here. After I finished my shopping, I sat down to do some encounters for Shaman in Platinum, a hunt that I have yet to pick back up. Then, I had to head back home to meet up with my good friend, the Miss L, who's going to be staying with me for the weekend. By the way, you should absolutely check out her streams and YouTube channel. She does incredibly awesome alpha shiny hunts in Legends Arceus and CA, plus she started full odds hunting in Platinum. Go follow her. Before we went down to the convention center, I had to introduce Miss L to our most sacred Canadian institution, Tim Hortons. Score another point for Canada. After our breakfast, we made our way over to the event space to meet up with some fellow shiny hunters and to cheer on the folks who are competing, as well as some more Pokemon card shopping, of course. Okay, I promise this will be the last time I talk about merch in this video, but I did want to show this really gorgeous shiny Ralts card that I picked up. Ralts is another one of my friend's favorites, so I knew I had to grab this guy. And then I also picked up this full art Tangela card. Really, really beautiful. And Tangela is actually a really special Pokemon to me because Tangela was actually my first ever shiny Pokemon. I found one as a kid in Soul Silver, was so excited to catch it, and it really means a lot to me. Once the VGC players finished all their battles, it was finally time for what I consider to be the main event of this regional, the Retro Shiny Challenge. If you've not heard of it, the Retro Shiny Challenge is an event where as many shiny hunters as possible try to get as many encounters and hopefully find as many shinies as they can in 1 hour, using a shared counter to see how many Pokemon we find between us. It was started by Nora in the Future a few years ago and has become a mainstay for Pokemon events ever since. This time, it was being hosted by the wonderful Quick Panic, and I was determined to find a shiny. I brought along 5 Hoenn games to hunt in the Safari Zone, because I thought that would give me the fastest encounters and therefore the best chances to find a full odd shiny, even if I did have a chance to fail it. By the end of the hour, I contributed a little over 500 out of nearly 10,000 collective encounters, but sadly I wasn't lucky enough to find a shiny. One gamer down the table from me found a Venonat in the Kanto Safari Zone, which tragically fled, but I unfortunately couldn't find any photos or videos of it online. Dragon Tamer Tom, however, managed to find a shiny Celebi on Virtual Console Crystal, which was absolutely insane. I'm glad at least one hunter got to keep their shiny. After the Retro Shiny Challenge, Miss L and I accompanied some friends out to dinner, and then back to their Airbnb to get in even more shiny hunting. And there, in the midst of learning about the joys of Pickle Pepsi, I found my first shiny of the weekend. Okay, here. We're closing the rest of the games. This is after 312 times 5 encounters. Someone do the math.
1,560.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
All right. It's ball.
No shakes.
Watching. Ball.
No shakes.
No. Well, that sucks.
Oh.
We run it back.
Is that all platinum? No. What? Ruby. Yeah.
We'll get another one.
Oh my
That's good. Of course I was super disappointed to miss out on Shiny Giraffere without even a shake. But this just means that now I have a reclaimed target for this year's Safari Week. I'll see y'all in the zone. I left the Game Boys at home on Sunday, because I had a different, but just as quick hunt that I thought I could make good progress on. The Heart Gold and Soul Silver starters. This is a hunt that's regularly recommended to new shiny hunters because of the fast reset time, and the fact that you get to see all 3 starters before choosing one. I already found one of the trio when Cyndaquil decided to finally shine on New Year's Day after 16,000 encounters. Oh! Shiny Cyndaquil! Oh my god! After nearly hitting double odds, I was hoping the next phase would be a little kinder to me. But I was not prepared for Shiny Totodile to appear after only 63 Pokemon seen. Not 6,300, 63. I was only 7 resets across my 3 systems, and it's still my fastest full odds shiny to this day. Unfortunately, the surprise means I don't have any footage of me finding the shiny, but at least I remembered to record everyone's nature guesses. Leave your own nature guess in the comments. So Shiny Totodile after 63 Pokemon seen. Any nature guesses, Miss Al? Quiet.
Unfair.
Unfair. Mild. You have a nature guess? Serious? Naive. I'm gonna guess modest. Alright, I'm gonna guess bashful. It is naive. Nice.
Nice. We're naive.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Now we have Beavertail, the shiny Totodile. We named this little guy Beavertail after an iconic Canadian treat, which is basically just a lump of fried dough that you can put all kinds of toppings on. And it fits perfectly with his naive nature. Did want to talk a little bit more about why Beavertail here is so special to me. I found this guy on my childhood Soul Silver cartridge, the same one I found my first ever shiny Tangela on that I mentioned earlier. I don't have that shiny Tangela with me anymore, but I do have a plan to reclaim her. I'm going to be doing a shiny badge quest on this cartridge, single hunting, all 16 badges, and we're finally going to reclaim shiny Tangela at the base of Mount Silver where I first found her over a decade ago. I know it's going to take a long time, but I am so excited for this journey. And Beavertail here is just the first step. With my regional shiny finally secured, we walked over to catch the end of the finals. Congrats to Carrie. And then we went out to celebrate this wonderful weekend with ramen. But I accidentally got one that was way too spicy for me. Miss L and I bid farewell to our friends, but our adventures wouldn't be over quite yet. Miss L still had one day left in the city, so I decided to take her around to a bunch of game and card stores I frequent, to maybe build out our collections a little more. We didn't find too many hits at any of the shops we visited, but we did both get a good amount of encounters in during the train rides. And what better way to relax when we got home but with even more shiny hunting? I set up a couple of my Alola hunts for Type Null and Poipole at my desk, while Miss L continued her Return of Forest grind. After a bit of fiddling with my systems and camera settings, and only a few resets into the hunting session...
Oh my god! No way!
What? That's like my second one today!
What?
That was like 2 resets today, are you kidding me? What the f***? Shiny Poipole? Cool! Sick!
That's your 3rd shiny this weekend? Excuse me?
Wait, that's so crazy. Alright, shiny Poipole. After only 128 encounters.
So good.
God, Poipole is honestly one of my favorite shinies. It just looks so good. Look at that! Okay, yes, I need to give it a nickname because my New Year's resolution is to nickname every shiny. We ended up giving them the nickname Boss Baby after a suggestion from my friend's Twitch chat. I can't remember why. Honestly, I still can't believe how lucky I got this weekend. I did less than 3,000 encounters of hunting in total, and still managed to find 3 incredibly under-odds shinies. But don't worry, my luck has caught up to me since then. Toronto Regionals was a magical experience for me. Sure, it wasn't as big or as flashy as something like NAIC or Worlds, but having the opportunity to gather together with so many other Pokemon fans made me feel more connected to the community than I ever had before. I don't get the opportunity to travel very often, so I'm very grateful to have such an awesome Pokemon event right in my backyard. I want to give another huge thanks to Miss L for coming to spend the weekend with me, and thank you to all of my fellow Pokemon content creators and shiny hunters I got to meet over the weekend. Y'all were so awesome and made me feel so welcome. By the way, if you're wondering why this video took me so long to put out, well, I moved since the last video, so things have been a little chaotic for me recently. We're still trying to get things set up around the new place, but I'm back to streaming every week on my Twitch channel, so you can check me out there. I promise there are still so many exciting Pokemon adventures to come, and I can't wait to see what next year has in store.